This week on Granite State Challenge, the team from Plymouth Regional High School takes on the team from Salem High School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, the New Hampshire Lottery, D.F. Richard Energy, Cognia, HRCU, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on Granite State Challenge. We're about midway through our 41st season of Granite State Challenge. 4 teams have already punched their ticket to the next round. We've got 2 teams this week hoping to do just that. Let's introduce them to you. First up, we have the team from Plymouth Regional High School. They are led by senior captain Dash. And Dash, you got your scuba certification this summer. How did that come about?
Yeah, I just thought that it'd be fun to do over the summer. Went and dove in Winfizzaki.
All right, how long did it take to get your license?
It took about 6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
any fun, interesting things on any of your dives?
Well, on my last certification dive, we went and explored a shipwreck, and I got bitten by a fish.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's interesting for sure. All right, he is joined by junior Khalil. Khalil, you are a pilot.
I am.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got my license from Laconia Municipal Airport down in Laconia, and I'm flying a Piper Warrior right now, a little single engine.
Nice. That's fantastic. That's a great achievement at such a young age. That's awesome. Khalil is joined by senior Natalie, who has been doing ballet for a long time. Tell us.
I have been doing ballet for 14 years.
Okay, up on point and everything?
Yes, I've been doing point for 4 years.
Okay, and do you do this as a competition or just performances?
Just performances.
For the love of the dance.
For the love of the dance.
Awesome. All right, and Natalie is joined by sophomore Reagan. And Reagan, you do a lot of running sports. Which sports?
Yeah, I do cross country, Nordic, indoor track, and outdoor track.
Okay, do you have a favorite?
Outdoor track.
Okay, and what's your events?
I do the 1600, the 4x4, the 4x8, and the high jump.
All right, that's a lot of events. And the high jump. Excellent. Well, the team alternates are Jason, Alex, and Trevor. And the team is coached by Jay Fogarty and Troy Harris. And they're the team from Plymouth Regional High School. All right, and their opponents this week is the team from Salem High School. They are led by senior captain Luke, who is a drummer of sorts. Tell us.
Yeah, I marched the bass drum in our school's indoor percussion group.
Okay, so why the bass drum?
I got put on it when I joined 3 years ago, and I've just stuck with it.
You stuck with it. You love it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Luke is joined by senior Grace, who's doing something I think is really awesome. You are writing and directing your own one-act play. How did that come about?
Yes, it's true. So I've been writing ever since I was a little kid, and I talked to my theater director about like possibly doing something for our one acts. And I wrote out the script and I sent it to him, and he liked it so much that he wanted to take it to this festival that the state hosts. It's where all like these schools from New Hampshire get together and they just do it for like the love of theater. So I'm really excited.
And they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they are.
That's awesome. Good luck. All right. Grace is joined by Mohammed, who went on a recent trip to Dubai.
Well, 3-4 years. Yeah.
Okay, and what did you think of Dubai?
It was great. It was just how you would think it is. Like if you go on TikTok or anything, you see people in Dubai. That's exactly how you would imagine it.
Okay, so would you recommend it as a travel destination?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. We'll see if we get there. All right, and Mohammed is joined by senior Jess, who, like me, shares a love of what beverage?
Coffee.
Okay, and so give me some tips, some coffee drinking tips.
Oh, honestly, just like anytime I go to a coffee shop, like try a bunch of local coffee shops. There's a ton that I love in Portsmouth that I go with my brother all the time. And just expand your horizons. Just like try something. I tried it was I think like a charcoal mocha,
Okay.
which like doesn't sound super appetizing, but it was actually really good.
Well, I think that's good advice to try new things. All right, the team alternates are Lizzie, Sarah, and Kelsey, and the team is coached by Bernie Campbell. And they're the team from Salem High School. All right, and of course, one more introduction. You know her, we all know her. It is our judge, Ann Belanger. All right, teams, introductions are out of the way. Go ahead and grab those signaling devices. We're going to play Granite State Challenge. And as you know, we play in 4 rounds. In round 1, we do 10-point toss-up questions. So, Plymouth and Salem, good luck, and here we go. In 1903, Cuba leased land around this bay to the United States in perpetuity. Dash of Plymouth.
Guantanamo Bay.
That's it. James Earl Jones made his film debut in the 1964 Stanley Kubrick film Dr. Strangelove. He also provided the voice of Darth Vader and this patriarchal character in The Lion King. Dash of Plymouth?
Oh no, Mufasa.
Yes. In June of 1815, Napoleon was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo. In what country is Waterloo located in today? Grace of Salem?
Russia.
Sorry, no. Plymouth. Reagan.
Belgium.
Belgium is right. Actor Gene Wilder portrayed Willy Wonka in the 1971 film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, based on the 1964 novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by this author. Natalie of Plymouth.
Roald Dahl.
Yes. Bob's best friend Al is a mycologist. What does Al study? Dash of Plymouth.
Cells.
Sorry, no. Salem? Grace?
Mushrooms?
Yes. In the 1943 case, West Virginia State Board of Education v. Barnett, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, ruled that students do not have to do this to the flag if it conflicted with their religious beliefs. Khalil of Plymouth.
Say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes. Pope Gregory XIII, who was pope from 1572 to 1585, is perhaps best known for this still used timekeeping system. Luke of Salem.
The Gregorian calendar.
That is it. In 1953, the Supreme Court ruled in District of Columbia v. John R. Thompson Company that restaurants in Washington, D.C. could not refuse to do this. Khalil of Plymouth.
Exclude black people.
Yes. We'll take that. In 1941, the British Navy sunk this German battleship named for a former German chancellor in the North Atlantic, killing 2,100 individuals. Khalil of Plymouth.
The Hindenburg.
Sorry, nope. Salem? It's the Bismarck. On June 21st, 1788, New Hampshire became the 9th state to do this. Dash of Plymouth.
Ratify the Constitution.
That is it. This short story by Shirley Jackson, first published in the New Yorker in 1948, is set in a small town as it prepares for a gruesome annual tradition to ensure a good harvest. Grace of Salem.
The lottery.
Yes. These single-celled organisms were among the first forms of life on Earth, and there are probably millions of them in your body right now. Most of them good and in your gut. Some of them also help ferment cheese. Luke of Salem.
Bacteria.
That's it. Singer-songwriter Eunice Kathleen Wayman's first hit song was I Loves You, Porgy. She is also known for the song Strange Fruit about lynching. She is better known by this name. Luke of Salem.
Billie Holiday.
Sorry, no. Plymouth? It is Nina Simone. This right, which protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment, takes its name from the Latin term for show me the body. Khalil of Plymouth.
Habeas corpus.
That is correct. Thurgood Marshall was the first black U.S. Supreme Court justice. Who was the second? Dash of Plymouth.
Thomas.
Yes, Clarence Thomas. This primate is found in mangrove forests in Borneo. Its name comes from its large nose. Khalil of Plymouth.
The big-nosed ape.
Sorry, no. Salem? Jess?
Bonobo?
Sorry, no, it is the proboscis monkey. The proboscis monkey. All right, teams, our next question is our Unitil power question. It is worth double the points. 20-point toss-up question coming to you from your monitors. Take a look.
This superhero has been called the Scarlet Speedster and has been 5 different people. Athlete Gary Garrick, scientist Barry Allen, Barry's nephew Wally West, Barry's grandson Bart Allen, and Chinese-American teenager Avery Ho.
Luke of Salem.
Flash.
The Flash is right. All right, teams, on February 3rd, 2002, in Super Bowl 36, Adam Vinatieri kicked a field goal in the last seconds of the game against the Rams, giving the New England Patriots their first Super Bowl win with a score of 20-17. The NFL uses Roman numerals to identify Super Bowl games. What is 36 in Roman numerals? Khalil of Plymouth.
XXXVI.
That is correct. Nope, we'll save that question for later. At the end of round 1, on fire, both teams, but Plymouth in the lead by a score of 100-60. Great start, teams. Let's keep it going into round 2, which is our 3 strikes and you're out round. In this round, each member of the team gets a question worth 10 points. We'll give 10 questions to each team as we go down the line, and we'll give you 10 points for each one, a bonus of 10 if you get them all right. And as a reminder, there's no talking during this round. All right? As a reminder, each team has 3 strikes, and something in the previous question will be the inspiration for the next question. We'll start with Plymouth. Dash. After the Beatles broke up in 1970, this bassist for the band formed a band called Wings.
Paul McCartney.
Yes. Khalil. Most of the species in this family of birds live in the Antarctic and use their wings for swimming, not flying.
Penguins.
Yes. Natalie. This penguin is a supervillain the penguin is a supervillain in this city and that is protected by Batman.
Gotham.
That is right. Reagan. You will find the city of Batman in the Anatolia region of this country, near the confluence of the Tigris and Batman rivers.
Pass.
Pass to Dash.
Pass.
Pass to Khalil.
Turkey.
Turkey is right. Natalie, this founding father proposed that the turkey and not the bald eagle be the symbol of the United States.
Franklin.
Ben Franklin's right. Reagan, Benjamin Franklin published and wrote for this almanac.
Pass.
Poor
Okay,
Richard's.
there's a third pass. Dash, say it again.
Poor Richard's Almanac.
Poor Richard's is right. Khalil, this almanac is published in Dublin, New Hampshire.
Farmer's Almanac.
We'll take that. We'll take the Farmer's Almanac. Natalie, in a children's song, there was a farmer who had a dog, and this was his name.
Old MacDonald.
The dog's name was Bingo. Oh. Sorry. Reagan, the name of this wild dog, native to Australia, rhymes with bingo.
Dingo?
Yes. And Dash. In this board game, first released in 1963, players try to create a rodent-catching device.
Mousetrap.
Yes. All right, and that ends your 3 strikes round. A good round for Plymouth. Well done. All right, Salem, we're going to turn our attention to you. Same drill. Luke, we'll start with you. Here's your question. Comedian and actor Robin Williams voiced the genie in this 1992 animated film.
Aladdin.
Yes. Grace. This artist's 1973 album, Aladdin Sane, followed his 1972 album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Elton John.
Sorry, it's David Bowie. Mohammed. This novel by H.G. Wells tells the tale of a Martian invasion of Earth.
Pass.
Pass.
All right, it's 2 passes. Luke?
The War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds is right. Grace? Orson Welles is famous for a 1938 radio drama based on War of the Worlds. He was also the director and star of this 1941 film about newspaper mogul Charles Foster Kane.
Pass.
All right, that's your 3rd pass. Mohammed.
Did you mean to say strike?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Can we make that a strike instead of a pass?
We can't, no.
Oh, then strike, I guess.
Okay, it is Citizen Kane. Sorry. Jess. The film Citizen Kane opens with a dying Charles Foster Kane mumbling this word.
I don't know.
It is Rosebud. All right, Luke. The Rose Bowl parade happens on or close to... Oh, that's 3? Okay, well, that is the end of your 60-second round. All right. Tough round, but no big deal. We're going to go into round 3. So I would like to invite all of the alternates up to join their teams for our 60-second round. In our 60-second round, both teams will get 10 points in a category. And you guys can talk as a team. You can confer as a team. And Salem, as the team trailing, you get to choose first from our categories today. They are stone face, deadline, and animal habitats.
Stone face.
Stone face. Okay. The answers to all of the following will be individuals with names that reference a rock, mineral, gem, element, or metal. Okay? So, 60 seconds. Luke, I'll take your answer as a team answer. You can talk as a team. Start the clock. This fictional character lived in Bedrock and was married to Wilma.
Fred
Flintstone.
Yes. You will find a statue of this fictional boxer in Philadelphia.
Rocky.
Yes. He sings the song Sweet Caroline.
Neil Diamond.
Yes. He assassinated Lee Harvey Oswald.
Ruby.
Jack Ruby, yes. She was the Prime Minister of Israel.
Golda Meir.
Yes. He was the lead singer for the band Queen.
Freddie Mercury.
Yes. He is a fictional pirate created by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Pass.
Is Long John Silver. The 2009 movie Precious was based on this author's novel Push.
Pass.
Sapphire. Sometimes he is Tony Stark.
Iron Man.
Yes. Folk and blues singer known for the songs Goodnight Irene and Midnight Special.
Pass.
It is Lead Belly, and that is 10 questions, 7 out of 10 on your 60-second round. All right, Plymouth, we turn our attention to you, and Dash, you guys can choose from either deadline or animal habitats.
Deadline.
Deadline, okay. The answers to the following will be related to the word dead. Dash, I'll take your answer as the team answer. 60 seconds, start the clock. Jerry Garcia was the lead singer.
Grateful Dead.
Yes. What a fan of the Grateful Dead is called.
Deadhead.
Yes. What you might call the end of the road.
Dead end.
Dead end. Yes. This is New Hampshire's motto.
Live free or die.
Yes. 1988 movie starring Bruce Willis as John McClane.
Die Hard. Die Hard.
Yes. Salt Lake in the Middle East.
Dead Sea. Dead Sea.
Yes. This series about the survivors of a zombie apocalypse.
Walking Dead. The Walking Dead.
Yes. This 1989 movie starred Robin Williams as English teacher John
Oh,
Keaton.
Dead Society.
Yes. This location in the Mojave Desert in California.
Death Valley.
Yes. Ryan Reynolds plays this teacher.
Deadpool.
Yes, that is correct. All correct. 10 out of 10. Well done, Plymouth. All right, thank you so much, alternates. You guys can take your seats as we roll on into round 4. So in round 4, we are going to continue with our toss-up questions, but we're going to double the point value to 20 points, but we will be deducting 20 points for incorrect responses. So a lot can change in round 4. Plymouth and Salem, here we go. Good luck. In 1977, the band Heart, featuring sisters Nancy and Ann Wilson, had a huge hit with this song named after a ferocious saltwater fish. Grace of Salem.
Barracuda.
Yes. This English author and mathematician created a rabbit who was habitually late, a hookah-smoking caterpillar, and a queen with a propensity for calling for heads to be chopped off. Khalil of Plymouth.
Lewis Carroll.
Yes. In 1954, British runner Roger Bannister became the first person to do this in under 4 minutes. Khalil of Plymouth.
Run a mile.
Yes. Founded in 1978, Badlands National Park features stunning layered rock formations and is home to prairie dogs, bison, and bighorn sheep. In what state will you find Badlands National Park? Dash of Plymouth.
South Dakota.
That is right. Tutankhamun, or King Tut, is also sometimes referred to as the Boy King, as he was only 8 or 9 years old when he became pharaoh. Spell pharaoh. Khalil of Plymouth.
P-H-A-R-A-O-H.
You got them all. Well done. Dodge City, the site for the Western TV series Gunsmoke, was once the home of lawman Wyatt Earp and had the reputation of being a Wild West town. In what state is Dodge City located? Luke of Salem.
Nevada.
Sorry, no. It's a good guess. It was Kansas. All right, teams, go ahead and take a look at your monitors. Before he was appointed the first U.S. Secretary of War in 1789 by George Washington, this man was Chief Artillery Officer in the Continental Army, and before that, a bookseller in Boston. That man is Henry Knox. Teams, this could be something you wear to stay warm or a slang word for eating very fast. Muhammad of Salem.
Scarf.
That's it. Who was the first sitting U.S. president to visit North Korea? Khalil of Plymouth.
Donald John Trump.
He's the one. In 1938, Thornton Wilder's play Our Town premiered in Princeton, New Jersey. The play was set in this fictional New Hampshire town. Luke of Salem.
Peyton Place.
Sorry, no. Also a good guess. Grover's Corner is what we were looking for. The fictional guide, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, published by Megadodo Publications, a publishing company on Ursa Minor Beta, has these two words printed on its plastic cover. Don't panic. The first manned mission that landed men on the moon was the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. The last manned mission that put men on the moon was Apollo 17 in 1972. How many manned missions have put men on the moon? Khalil of Plymouth.
7.
Sorry, no. Luke of Salem.
4.
Sorry, no, it was 6. Apollo 13 was aborted, never landed on the moon. Audiences went ape over this movie released in 1933, starring Fay Wray, Robert Armstrong, and Bruce Cabot. Luke of Salem.
Planet of the Apes.
Sorry, no. Plymouth. A little bit before that was King Kong. All right, guys, there is a civics question coming to you from your monitors. Take a look.
Chris Sununu became governor of New Hampshire in 2017. His father served as governor of New Hampshire from 1983 to 1989. Who is Chris Sununu's father?
Dash of Plymouth.
John Sununu.
John Sununu is right, and a special thanks to New Hampshire's Kid Governor for that question. This novel by Roald Dahl about a young member of the Wormwood family was made into a film in 1996 and a musical that premiered in London in 2011 and on Broadway in 2013. Reagan of Plymouth.
Matilda.
That's it. Painter Norman Rockwell's 4 freedoms paintings, freedom of speech, freedom from want, freedom of religion, and freedom from fear, are based on the 4 freedoms speech by this American president. Dash of Plymouth.
FDR.
FDR, yes. In 1907, Belgian chemist Leo Baekeland announced the creation of Bakelite, the first synthetic form of this. And this is what I learned, first synthetic form of plastic. This English singer-songwriter has had hits with the songs Shape of You and Thinking Out Loud. Luke of Salem.
Ed Sheeran.
Yes. In 1917, the U.S. paid this country $25 million for the U.S. Virgin Islands. Khalil of Plymouth.
The Netherlands.
Sorry, no. Luke of Salem.
United Kingdom.
Sorry, it was Denmark. Denmark. This could be the 4th letter in the Greek alphabet, an airline, or a triangular-shaped landform created by river sediment deposits. Khalil of Plymouth.
Delta.
Yes. This branch of the U.S. Armed Forces was formed in 1915 when the U.S. Revenue Cutter Service and the U.S. Life Saving Service merged. Dash of Plymouth.
Coast Guard.
Yes. This poet's work, Thomas and Beulah, won the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry in 1987. She was the first black poet laureate of the Library of Congress, where she served from 1993 to 1995. And to top it all off, she and her husband are also avid ballroom dancers. Her name is Rita Dove. All right, teams, take another look at those monitors in front of you. You are looking at a red-ruffed lemur, one of 100 extant species of lemur endemic to this island nation. Luke of Salem.
Madagascar.
That is right. In 1801, John Marshall was sworn in as the first Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. Who is the current Chief Justice? Dash of Plymouth.
Roberts.
John Roberts is right. In 1949, General Omar Bradley became the first person to fill this role, which is currently held by General Mark Milley. He was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. All right, teams, a math question for you. You have pencil and paper. What is the square root of 81 multiplied by the square root of 36? Khalil of Plymouth?
36.
Sorry, no. Salem? Jess?
54.
That's the right answer. You will find an eclectic collection of people, including Karl Marx, Marilyn Monroe, Marlon Brando, Oscar Wilde, and Sonny Liston on the cover of this 1967 Beatles album. Natalie of Plymouth?
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
One of my favorites, yes. In 1870, Hiram Revels became the first black member of either chamber of U.S. Congress. He was elected by this state's legislature to fill the seat held by Albert Brown, who had vacated the seat when the state seceded from the Union. In 1861, it was Mississippi, and by a score of 580 to 150, a high-scoring match, Plymouth is moving on to the next round. Congratulations, Plymouth, on a great win. Salem, thanks so much for coming. Congratulations on your wild card win, and thank you so much for being here. We had fun. We hope you had fun being here as well. And we hope you had fun at home. We hope you join us next week when the team from Bow High School takes on the team from Mascoma Valley Regional High School. And that's going to do it for us this week. As I like to say, I learned something, and I hope you did too. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, the New Hampshire Lottery, DF Richard Energy, Cognia, HRCU, and viewers like you. Thank you.